What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. This could be one of the greatest recaps we've ever made. Cal Raleigh officially joined the 60 home run club, which cost me a lot of money. I'll explain in a second. And Judge, he had his 50th home run. The MVP race in the American League is as contentious as it's ever been. The American League Cy Young race just got a whole lot closer because Garrett Crochet shoved. And by the way, Paul Skenes, he all but wrapped up his first Cy Young in the National League. Roki Sasaki made his return. He was throwing cheddar again, 100 miles an hour. And Kershaw was also out there in the bullpen. We have an inside the park home run in the Reds game. Cincinnati, they are trying to rally and save their season quite literally because the Mets, man, even with Juan Soto homering again, PCA and the Cubs, they had a field day. And this baseball right here, if it leaves, the Guardians, they might be a sole possessor of first place in the Central. We'll get into all of that and more in today's MLB recap. If you've never watched these videos, I recap every baseball game almost every single day. So if you liked baseball tonight as a kid, you're going to love this channel. Stick around, subscribe. Don't forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek and Underdog Fantasy. And if you want to win a free console, I literally have to give one away because of Cal Raleigh. So much happened in this first game. The Mariners took on the Rockies, and Cal, he joined the 60 home run club, and the Mariners, they clinched the American League West for the first time since I was, 5 years old. Cal also just became the 8th player in this ballpark's history to go to that third upper deck right there. So that's his 59th home run. J-Rod and Polanco, they blasted off in the exact same inning. So the Mariners are firing on all cylinders lately. Cal, he also had a 2-run double in this game. I'm going to tip my cap to a Rocky real quick. Blaine Crim, he has 5 home runs in his first 38 at-bats as a Rocky. He was with the Rangers earlier this season before he got dropped. Luis Castillo, he had double-digit strikeouts for the first time in a minute. He was dealing, and that's awesome to see right before October. Gino, he has 48 home runs, which doesn't even seem like a lot nowadays. And here it is. Cal Raleigh swatted out his 60th home run. Let me repeat that. A switch-hitting defensive monster catcher just hit his 60th home run as his team clinched the American League West for the first time since 2001. The script is scripting. Now remember, everyone, I bet a console on that 2 home run game from Cal, so do not forget to head on over to Playback. It's an app. It's also a website, playback.tv/the show. I'll be live with Kooks46 later today, so come on over and hopefully you have a chance to win. Cal Raleigh hit 2 home runs, but so did the captain, Aaron Judge. He just had to make my job harder because now I have to try and explain why Cal is probably going to win over a guy who's batting over 320 with 50-plus home runs. Here's number 50, a 3-run home run to deep right center field. This is the 4th time that Judge has gotten to 50. One more, and he'll have the most 50 home run seasons ever. By the way, a lot of people have been saying not Barry Bonds. Barry only had 50-plus once, and it was in that 73 home run season. Goldy and Jazz added to their lead. Goldy, he blitzed through the stop sign. He said, nah, I'm going home. Go, Grandpa, go. Dude was absolutely motoring. Not really. Fried, he was throwing to Rice. Call it fried rice, sorry, but he goes 7 innings with 7 strikeouts. His 19 wins leads everyone in baseball. He's probably going to lead because the season's almost over. The big sleep, Trent Grisham, he has 34 home runs, and Judge, he went the other way again for his 51st. By the way, he has 46 multi-home run games for his career, which is insane. The Yankees, they desperately need a Jays loss, but we have to talk about the MVP race right now. So here's my stance on the 2025 AL MVP race. I think that Aaron Judge has been the best hitter in baseball by far. He deserves MVP, but the thing about voting, it's always been muddied by narratives. You're telling me with a straight face that Jose Altuve being 5'6" didn't help him win MVP over Judge in 2017? It absolutely did. You guys remember back in 2012 when Mike Trout literally morphed into Jesus Christ himself and almost had an 11 WAR in 130-something games? If you don't remember, Miggy won the MVP because he also took home the Triple Crown. The Triple Crown is a narrative-based milestone stat as well, so that's a thing. We've seen humans not vote for Ken Griffey Jr., Ichiro, Derek Jeter as Hall of Famers. So remember, these are humans voting, and they're going to be driven by muddied narratives. And Cal Raleigh, a defensive monster, switch-hitting catcher on a first-place team that hasn't clinched since 2001. They just clinched. I mean, that's a script that is hard to beat. As much as I love Aaron Judge, and he's kind of going down the MJ, LeBron, Mike Trout path of guys who should have more MVPs. That's just the way that voting works sometimes when it's being ran by humans. So for me, Aaron Judge deserves it. I don't think he's going to win now that Cal is 60. I did put out a poll on my Twitter, and right now Judge is ahead at 51%, so it's basically an even race. Who do you think is going to win? Please let me know. So back to the Jays game. This is one of the few times in history you will ever see a Yankee fan possibly rooting for a Red Sox W in any capacity, but I mean, wait until the end of this game. You got to see it. Masa doubled in. Trevor Story. Masataka Yoshida has been awesome over the last week and a half. He's going to jump on Max Scherzer a little bit later after Romy. He added 2 more. Masa, He's mashing a baseball out now. He has 4 consecutive games with multiple base hits. He's batting .333 with 11 RBIs in 16 games this month. The Red Sox have been better lately because without Roman Anthony, they needed Masa to step up, and he has done exactly that. Vladdy, you can't do that, man. He pointed to where he thought the pitch was. Even Ichiro couldn't do that. The only career ejection that Ichiro ever had was pointing to where he thought a pitch was. I mean, just cannot happen in a race like the Jays are in right now. Carlos Narvaez, he has 15 home runs as a rookie catcher. That's a 3-run home run. He's been a top 3 or 4 defensive catcher again as a rookie. Crochet, is he about to win Cy Young? He went 8 shutout in Toronto. He ends his season with a 2.59 ERA with 255 strikeouts. More on him in a second. We have a walk-off 9-3 putout. Alejandro Kirk thought he had a single. Nope, that's as embarrassing as it gets. 2 more things about that last game. We have a standings update and a Cy Young race update. So the Jays and the Yankees, they have the exact same record. But remember, the Jays own the tiebreaker because they've been better against the Yankees than the Yankees have been against them this year. So with 4 games left, technically the Yankees are still in a wild card race, but 4 games left to change that. And then the Cy Young race. We have Garrett Crochet versus Tarek Skubal. Garrett, he leads in innings pitched, strikeouts, and strikeouts per 9. Skubal, he leads in ERA, whip, and walks per 9. Who would you vote for? We've talked a lot about 50 home run guys in this video, and it got me fired up and wanted to show Schwarber's 2 home run game, which is crazy to say out loud because he didn't even lead his team in home runs yesterday. There he is going lefty-lefty. This is history right here. 23 home runs by a left-handed hitter off lefties is a major league record. Edmundo Sosa, I mean, he was Sammy Sosa in this game. He golfed out his first of 3. This dude is crazy strong. My friend, if you guys are brand new, Bryson Stott is my friend. It's just a joke that we've had. He goes to the bullpen. He's batting .315 with a whopping .920 OPS since August 5th. Sosa, again, this time a 3-run pimp job. And Jesus, he had 10 strikeouts, 0 earned runs against his old team. He finishes 2025 with an insane 216 strikeouts and 183 innings. He was nasty this year. Gave up a few stinkers, but it happens. Kyle almost went 470 feet. My lord. He is 2 away from tying Ryan Howard for the most ever by a Philly with 58. Alec Boehm, he makes it back-to-back home runs, and a few moments later, Otto Kemp, he lifted out a 2-run home run. If you're doing the math, that is 8 home runs by the Phillies in this game, which ties a franchise record. And we have a new franchise record. Edmundo Sosa's 3rd home run of the game completes the record. He has elite speed and defense. I need a 3 home run tops now Edmundo Sosa card. The Phillies, they just secured a first-round bye, so they get some much-needed rest heading into the playoffs. I know I'm kind of skipping around, but let's go back and find Tarek Skubal's team. Tigers fans are like, please no. Let's not. George Valera hit one just past a leaping Peter Parker. I know it's Parker Meadows, but this dude legitimately flew. It ticked off his glove. George Valera is fired up, and he's been one of my favorite prospects of all time. I could not be happier for the kid because he's dealt with regression, injuries, you name it, he's dealt with it. Steven Kwan, the chosen Kwan, he patted the lead for Tanner Bibee, who struck out 5 over 6. Look at his 5th strikeout. I was stressing in this inning, but his 5th got Wenzel the chase. JRam, he tacked on 2 more with a 2-run double. I believe that's history. He is #1 in Cleveland franchise history in extra base hits. The Tigers, they've lost 8 games in a row. They're a full 1 game back. I mean, I cannot believe that's even happening. Thankfully for Tigers fans, the Houston Astros have been atrocious as well, and if the Astros would have won this game, the Tigers would still have the tiebreaker, but still, being tied for the final wildcard spot after being the best team in baseball for months has to be an eerie feeling for Tigers fans. While I was yapping, Sodi and his boys rocked around Hunter Brown. You had RBI doubles from Sodi and I think Shea to make it 2-0. Brent, he doubled the score with a base knock to left field as Severino, he's been rock solid over the last month and a half. He goes almost 7 shutout with 5 strikeouts. He has a 3 ERA his last 10 starts. Shea, he made it 4 for 4 with his 31st home run. Sodi went back-to-back. The 23-year-old, I think I said he was 24 a few days ago. He's 23, has 25 home runs, 95 RBIs, and a near 130 OPS plus. The Astros have lost 5 games in a row. They're 1 game back of the final wildcard spot. It's going to be one of those Mets games, huh? Jonah Tong, he's good, then bad. Good, then bad again. 2 score on this Ian Happ double. Moises Ballesteros, he made it 3-0. He's been pretty impressive. Seiya Suzuki, he made it 4-0 on another RBI extra base hit for the Cubs. Matt Shaw, this baseball's gone. He had 3 base hits, and by the way, Matt Shaw had a 550 OPS in the first half. He has an 860 OPS in the second half. Gotta tip my cap to Francisco Alvarez. He has 4 home runs after this 2-run moonshot and 8 RBIs his last 10 games. PCA, man, his speed really rushed Mark Vientos. So Moises, he scores on the air. That should have been out number 3. It didn't matter. PCA ended up getting a second, and now he's scoring from second. He gave the Mets a night-night celebration, like sleepy night-night. You guys are done for tonight. PCA is still one of my favorite players to watch in all of baseball. Michael Busch, no way. A a 2-run lefty-lefty. Whoa! If Michael Busch is going yard off a lefty, he is locked in. Juan Soto, he's been locked in all year. He has 43 home runs, and he has 4 games left to steal 4 more bags to secure a 40-40 season. The Mets, they just got pantsed in front of everyone live in Wrigley Field. What about the Reds, though? Oh, and the Diamondbacks. So Paul Skenes, he is going for his final start of the year. He's trying to get back under a 2 ERA for the 2nd consecutive season. He's got a lead versus Hunter Green. Spencer Horwitz, he was thrown out at 3rd, but that's an RBI double. He had a 2nd RBI later in the game as Paul Skenes. He does finish 2025 with a sub-2 ERA. He went 6 shutouts. Paul Skenes, he is going to run away with the Cy Young after finishing with a 1.97 ERA with 216 strikeouts and 187 innings. Like, it's a lock. It's not even close. Reds fans, okay, so they're losing. The fans are trying to rally their team. Noelvi Marte, he punished a baseball to center field. Oneil Cruz, he cannonballed into the wall. Noelvi, he can fly. This is an inside-the-park home run to get it within 1. And Tyler, he's about to tie it. Tyler Stephenson's first ever 4-hit game is a crazy one. He saved the longest hit of the day for the biggest moment, but the Reds, a fun fact about them, they suck in 1-run games. I think they're 3-11. It's about to be 3-12 because after Jack doubled and Lux tied it momentarily, Horwitz, he drove in another RBI on an extra base hit. He has a 900 OPS his last 30 games. Noelvi Marte was up with the bases loaded, but as you can tell by the tone of my voice, he rolled over. The Reds have dropped 2 in a row. They're still 1 game back of the Mets, which now means the Diamondbacks can get into the final wildcard spot. Kind of, again, there's tiebreaker conversations that have to be had, but on paper, they would have the same record as the Mets. Andy Paz wants to make sure that the Diamondbacks are nowhere near the playoffs. He lifted a 2-run home run for his 26th, and is that Roki? It is. Roki Sasaki had 2 punch-outs in the 7th inning. He was rearing back and throwing 100. Remember, he broke Shohei Ohtani's high school record for the fastest pitch ever thrown. He's been dealing with a shoulder impingement, and man, he looked awesome. Corbin Carroll, here we go. The Diamondbacks, he is leading the comeback. He laced a lefty-lefty RBI double off of Alex Vesia. Gabriel Moreno, he legged out an infield single. And then Del Castillo, he lifted a sac fly to tie it. The Dodgers bullpen is an actual legit problem heading into the playoffs. So much so that not only is Roki out there, but Kershaw as well. He pitched a clean 9th inning. Tommy Edman, he dove to send it to extras. Corbin, look at this absolute hose piece. An absolute seed to nab Haesung Kim of a run. That is the 9th outfield assist. If you hear that, SDS, MLB The Show devs, give Corbin a 90 arm strength, please. Tommy Edman, man, the Dodgers took it. So he clutched up on both defense and offense. Robleski, he had 2 strikeouts to end it. The Diamondbacks, they stay 1 game back of the wild card as well. But also, they have a worse record against the Reds. So technically on paper, even though they're tied with the Reds are still ahead. A Padres L here would mean the Dodgers' magic number is 1. Jackson Chourio, he brought it back. Xander, he's looking really good ever since coming back. He had a 3-run home run taken away. Andrew Vaughn, he's back to driving in runs for the Brew Crew. Dylan Cease, he had just that 1 earned run with 8 strikeouts. He was awesome. And Merrill Madness, he got Cease off the hook. It is 1-1 on another Merrill Madness home run. Jackson Chourio, his legs are about to take over. He stole a base, and Bryce Trang, he appreciates that because now he gets a free RBI. We have ejections coming up. Freddie Fermin was not happy with this call. Mike Schultz, he saved. I don't know if Freddie got ejected. Maybe Mike Schultz kind of took it off the chin for him, but someone got ejected. Danny Jansen, he hit a home run off of Estrada, which is not easy to do. And speaking of not easy to do, it should not be this easy to have Adney Uribe after a Trevor McGill, after a Josh Hader, after a Devin Williams. How do the Brewers keep on doing this? Uribe has a 1.7 ERA with 90 strikeouts and 74 innings. They just do that for fun. The Padres, they're 2.5 games back of the Dodgers for first place. The Cardinals can get within 2.5 games back of the wild card. Jung Hoo Lee had a lucky RBI. This, I'm just going to spoil it right now. This is one of the sloppiest games the Cardinals have ever played. That ball has to get caught, and it usually does, but there was some miscommunication. Victor Scott momentarily made up for it with his legs. He had a stolen base, I think, and then Donovan had a double. He has 5 doubles his last 2 games and an 8-game hitting streak to boot. Ivan Herrera continues to prove he is insane at hitting baseballs. He has 8 home runs and 16 RBIs in the month of September alone. Devers, his first splash hit is a game tire, and I'm kind of skipping past it, but Jordan Walker dropped the fly ball. That allowed Andrew Kizner to tie it on a sac fly. Sonny Gray, I'll give him a shout out. He has 200 strikeouts. Again, he struck out 7. Arenado bailed him out. It's now 3-3 on another sac fly. Andrew Kizner's second RBI is a game-winning triple thanks to Victor Scott again, not reading it right. So he's usually a platinum-type defender. I don't know what was going on. This was one of the sloppiest games by anyone this year. Walker had a double play. He now has a career -2.7 WAR. He's been a complete bust. Schmidt, He ends it with a walk-off web gem. I don't know why you're trying to bunt. I guess I get it because he's playing back, but Schmidt's really good at defense. The Giants win, but they're still eliminated. The Cardinals are 3.5 games back. We get to see Chandler Simpson fly. So he's singled and he's off on the pitch. Now we get a hit and run. This dude is a full-blown blur. He is the real-life Sonic. Brandon Lau's second swing was a loud swing. He has 31 home runs on the season, and we have more Chandler Simpson on the bases. He dropped in a second base hit, and because there was a bobble, he can get to second base easy. He ended up at third base, so he's scoring easy for Junior Caminero. By the way, Simpson is batting .417 with a .920 OPS his last 12 games. Jake Mangum, he's another speedster, and he has 3 home runs on the season now with 26 stolen bases and 6 outs above average. I'll tip my cap to Jordan Westberg. Westy had a 2-run single, but Pete Fairbanks, he ended it with a, it wasn't a save, but he blew a kiss to a hater. He said that, so there was someone in the stands trolling him, saying some awful stuff. Anyway, Shane Baz, I'm going to talk about him super quick. He went 4 innings without allowing a base hit. He had 5 shutout the game before with 2 base hits. He had 176 strikeouts and 166 innings this year. I'm crossing my fingers that he uses those last 2 starts to build for 2026. Dalen Lyle, he's okay, thank the Lord. Remember, he had that scare in the outfield a few days ago. That's an RBI. Josh Bell, he's back on the lineup as well. He has 21 home runs. And crazy random fact, he is 8 home runs away from joining the 200 double and 200 home run club. He's been an extra base machine. James Wood, I mean, this is as vintage as it gets for a guy who's barely been in the game of baseball. 445 feet the other way. Some of the most legendary apple pop that has ever been seen in the game of baseball. Drake Baldwin, he keeps adding to that Rookie of the Year case with an insane last 2 weeks. He has 19 home runs and a 125 OPS plus with elite defense behind the dish. James, he officially joined the 30 home run club. He goes 436 feet on a second. This might be Marcell Ozuna's final swing, or not final swing, final home run swing as a Brave. Are the Braves coming back? Ronald had a sliding catch. Eli White, it's now a 1-run game. Ronald, he's about to overturn a call because he booked it down the line. He's safe. Garcia, well, he's flipping baseballs and they called that guy safe, but then they overturned that one. That's why the ABS and instant replay is so beneficial to the game of baseball, because humans, they're wrong often. The Braves' 10-game winning streak is over. Is this dramatic to say a healthy Byron Buxton is a legit top 15 player I've ever seen? I was born in 1996, so, I mean, am I being a little bit hyperbolic? Maybe, but okay, maybe I should say his tools are top 15 that I've ever seen. Because he has 32 home runs, 24 stolen bases, great defense, and he's still as fast as Ellie De La Cruz at 31 years old. Josh Smith, he got to Taj Bradley, but shout out to Taj for battling back. He and deGrom basically had the same start. deGrom, he finishes 2025 with 8 strikeouts over 5. He finishes with a 2.97 ERA with 185 strikeouts and 172 innings. He had a tiny 1.9 walks per 9. Taj struck out 9 over 6, so he was actually better than deGrom. He has a crazy high ceiling. I'm hoping that the Twins can fully unlock him, which is crazy because I thought the Rays could do that, but they didn't. Ezekiel Duran added another run after stealing a base and scoring on a Billy McKinney single. Then we had multiple wild pitches, so yeah, the Rangers are going to take this one. As Royce, he stayed hot with his 23rd RBI in his last 30 games, but Phil Maton, he has 5 saves. The Rangers, they were the opposite of the Braves. They lost 8 games in a row. That finally gets snapped. Taylor Ward hit his 36th home run. He upped his RBI total to 103. Some Angels hitters have had some really good seasons, but again, it means nothing because their pitching has been awful. Aside from Yusei, this was the only run that he allowed. Randall Grichuk has just been a lefty master his entire career. The rookie phenom defender for the Angels, Bryce Teodosio, he barely missed it. Yusei, man, he's been so good lately. He leaves with a cramp because he did not have his bananas. If you know, you know. And again, he's been awesome this year. Awesome is like subjective. He's got like a 3.9 ERA, but he's been good relative to other Angel starters. Rookie Carter Jensen, he stays driving and runs, but then Jansen, he sealed it. Kenley Jansen has 475 career saves. He has a 2.6 ERA this year. The strikeouts are down, but this is his lowest hits per 9 in a decade, since 2015. And there we have it, another recap in the books. If you guys learned something new or enjoyed, do me a favor, leave a like if you haven't, and subscribe if you haven't. Don't forget to check me out on Playback, and if you don't, I mean, that's on you. You might miss out on a free console giveaway, and that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy the web gems.
And a bouncing ball, diving stop by York on the first. And it's hit hard. Backhanded grab by Ramirez. They get him in second. Well, lined up the middle on one hot. Nice play, Gonzalez. He'll throw and get him. He took into center field. Coming on, Jake Myers. He'll make a diving. Hit up the middle. Caught. Got him. Ball hit sharply. Diving stop by Moore. And one first round pick from last year throws out another.